All right, guys, welcome back to the table. And on the table, you actually see a bag. And this bag is actually from Lynx Defense, made in the USA, right here in South Carolina. And everything that you see here, from the straps to the Velcro to the Cordura, everything you see is made in the United States, or at least sourced from here and then eventually assembled in South Carolina. So that's again, to me, super important feature. If this was a bag that was a knockoff from somewhere else, I don't know if I'd be as apt to present it to you, but because this is American made, because, I believe in our country and our people, I have no problem showing this bag to you. So let's talk about this bag. First off, the material you see is 500 denier Cordura. So again, if you guys are familiar with Cordura, 500 is, in my opinion, the nice sweet spot of Cordura. Anything heavier, like the 1,000 denier, what you're going to find is it's a little bit too rigid. It doesn't have the flexibility in it, and it does provide a lot of resistance. But at the same time, it's just going to be a little bit too rigid, and it's going to be a little bit heavier, obviously, because it's more material or thicker material. But the 500 seems to be the sweet spot. And, a lot of people whether it's law enforcement, fire and EMS, they will wear pants that are made out of Cordura. And especially they want that flexibility, but they also want that puncture resistance, the abrasion resistance. So usually 500 is in that sweet spot, and that's what you're seeing right here. Now, again, you have this pull strap right here. And basically what this does, this allows you to open up the bag without having to remove the Velcro. Again, once you pull that open and you actually pull that Velcro off, you're going to see that there is a lot of stitching right here. And most of the things that I've seen here is everything's either double or triple stitched. So you're going to get a lot of resistance in regards to the abuse of the bag. Again, if you go to the range a lot, if you're going to carry this with you a lot, you want to make sure that you have something that's going to withstand abuse. I can tell you firsthand experience with usually these types of bags with this Cordura material, with the zippers that are usually, either triple or quadruple sometimes stitched. These bags do not break down very quickly. They actually tend to actually wear very, very well, and they're usable over time. Again, a lot of the services, like for example, police, fire, EMS, they're not going to invest in a bag that's going to break down within 6 months, because these bags get their asses beat. And as a result, you want to make sure that that bag is going to withstand that abuse. And over time, what you're going to see is that if the materials are built the way they're supposed to, if the stitching is done the way it's supposed to, these bags will be well worth the money over time. So you got to give a little bit forward to get a lot from later on down the line. Now, in regards to opening the bag here, there's some features inside the bag that are actually pretty cool. And, I have one small little, I don't want to say it's a complaint, but one little thing that I wish they would have done with this bag. But we'll talk about that in a second, and I'll show you what I mean. But as you can see, I have two handguns in here right now. I've got my PPQ and I've got my Glock 48. And again, these little inserts that you see here, and let me put these guns to the side here. But the little inserts you see are actually attached on the sides by Velcro. And they're very, very sturdy, guys. They're kind of a little difficult to actually get out, which is actually pretty good in my opinion. Oh, look, there's a casing. Now, in regards to these, you can see that there's a little bit of I guess you could say a sleeve here. Now, these sleeves are actually made to actually store your handguns in when you're traveling, whether it's to the range or if you're using these to go into a hotel. Obviously, the reverse side here, you can put maybe some magazines, other appliances and devices that you want to put there to make sure that they're actually going to stay put and not move anywhere. But both of them actually fit very well inside the bag. And again, you can adjust this to however you want. You can use two dividers. You can use one divider in the middle. It's really up to you. And that's kind of where my one little beef comes in. And it's really such a minor one. It's really not a major one. My only thing is I wish they came with 3 of these, not 2. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times I take multiple handguns with me. So for me, 2 is usually on the low end. I usually will take 3 guns, and I would like to have seen a third sleeve in here. Again, it's just a minor, superficial detail, really, to be honest with you, because it doesn't really do anything pro or con to the bag. Now, when you put these back in, again, it attaches right to the inside of the bag. And I'll see if I can get this in camera, but you can see the material in here that the Velcro attaches to. And again, like I said, it's very sturdy. This is not going anywhere. I actually took this to the range the other day. I had 300 rounds on this side. I had 2 handguns, several magazines. On the outside, there's several pockets here, which are kind of cool. This one, you can see I have my ear protection in there, another casing in there. And then on the other side, I was actually putting in my my glasses here for when I was shooting. So you have 2 pockets on the outside. Again, everything's reinforced with the 500 denier Cordura. So it's very, very sturdy, very, very stable. One of the other cool features about this was that when I was actually at the range, I put the bag on the shelf or on like the little table there. And there's a side pocket right here. So at first, when I got this bag, I said, I really had no clue what the hell this side pocket was. I just knew there was something like soft and cushiony in there. What I found out, though, is that as you open this up, and there's a bunch of Velcro here, which, by the way, you can see how it's all stitched here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitching pieces right here. So again, it is very well reinforced, to say the least. But what I did notice, and actually I'm probably getting this out the wrong way, but whatever, was that on the inside, what you have is you actually have a rolling mat. And what it can do is there's a piece of Velcro right here, and you attach this piece to the bottom of it right there, and then you open this up. Let me see if I can get this on my table. I don't even know, guys. But as you open it up, what you're going to find is, boom, you got a nice little mat here. So you can put your handguns right there, any other appliances that you have that you're going to be using for that day, and it just attaches right to the bag. When you're done with it, which is kind of even cooler, is that because the Velcro is attached to the actual inside of this lip right here, all you got to do is roll this piece back up as such. Let's see if I can shove it in there. Here. Try to do this on camera 500 times. Let's see. I'm going to stuff it in there. And as you can see, it goes back to its shape. The lip doesn't come out where the Velcro is at, and all you have to do is zip it back up and you're done. So, I mean, that's kind of a cool feature to this. And again, it was something I didn't realize until I started playing around with the bag. You know, all the straps are fairly well reinforced. A lot of stitching goes in there. You can see that this material here is fairly thick. Again, I couldn't tell you what the specifications are on it because I don't know. But overall, I have to say, guys, that to me, this is a bag that's worth it, and for a lot of different reasons. If you have experience using bags like this, whether you're in law enforcement, like I said before, fire and EMS, you're going to realize that these bags last a long time. They're going to be exposed in those types of professions to all different types of hazards. It could be blood, it could be oil, it could be puncturing, whatever it might be. And it's going to stand up to a lot of that. Now, again, if you're going to drive down the road 120 miles per hour, dragging this behind you and then washing it with razor blades, probably it's not going to work out well for you. But at the same time, honestly, guys, I have no complaints about this bag at all. You know, again, the only thing I wish is that I had a third one of these because then I could carry a little bit more. But other than that, everything fits really nicely in here. Now, one of the other things that I failed to mention was that there's actually a solid bottom to this that you can take out. And these little plasticky inserts, and even on the bottom, they call it, it's like a Kydex type material. Even though it's not Kydex, it is fairly rigid. It has a little bit of flex in it, but nothing that would make me concerned that's not going to hold up over time. So if you wanted to put another handgun on this side right here, you could do that because it is going to be protected based on the fact that the bottom actually has a solid bottom to it. So, I mean, for me, overall, this has been a fantastic bag to have for the time that I've had it. I'll tell you right now, I've been using my Condition 1 case for a long time, but I've also been carrying a soft bag with me to try to offset not having enough compartment use. Now, in regards to this bag, because you can divide it, because you can make it however you want, you have every option to put stuff in here, whether it's ammunition, eyewear, earwear, firearms. To me, this is the perfect in-between use bag. For me, one of the other things that I have to say was I decided to go with this gray, and on camera, it looks like it's really a solid gray. In reality, it almost has like a foliage green to it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that color, but if you're not, check it out. But it does remind me a lot of foliage green, maybe more on the side of a gray, but definitely has that foliage green look to it. But the reason why I went with this color is because when you zip this bag up and you close everything down for the day, this bag does not look like it's going to be carrying guns. This looks like a basic carry-on bag. It looks like a bag that you'd walk in and out of a hotel with. So for me, this is kind of the perfect mixture of practical use for going to the range, but also practical use if you're going to a hotel and you've got some of your firearms with you. I think to me, this actually works best. Now, again, everything looks really nice. I'll just give you kind of a once-over in regards to the bag. Again, you definitely like the idea of having that 500 denier on the bottom here so it doesn't rip. But overall, everything looks really nice. Very well put together bag. I look forward to taking this to the range with me. Again, you have your shoulder strap here. This is removable. It's got a little bit of a pad here. But other than that, guys, this bag has been solid since I got it. I have no complaints whatsoever. The Velcro is still holding up very well. But again, keep in mind, it's been a very limited use. However, that is going to change. This will be going with me everywhere now because it's just really good to use and it is extremely user-friendly. And on top of that, it holds its size, holds its shape, and is extremely resistant to puncturing and other, hazards, I guess you could say. So I'd love to hear what you have to say. Tell me what you think about Lynx Defense if you have any experience with them, and tell me what you think about the bag overall. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So again, I appreciate thumbs up. Also, please hit that bell so you guys know when I upload a video to YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed, please considering doing so because that always helps my channel grow. And as always, guys, I appreciate everybody who watches and leaves great comments. I hope you have a great night. Stay safe, and as always, freedom is never free.